Hey guys! So in the spirit for back to school, today we're going to be answering commonly asked questions about NYU. So let's jump right into it.
Okay, so I think this is the number one asked question that I get about NYU. I would say, in my opinion, I got really lucky at NYU where I ended up becoming really, really good friends with my roommate and my freshman year suite mate, and then two guys that lived across the hall from us. But beyond that, I will say making friends at NYU is about the effort that you put to put yourself out there and be involved in different sort of social activities. And I'm talking about clubs. Clubs are a really big part of how you meet people here at NYU because we don't necessarily have school spirit. That's not really a thing here. I think it's more of really finding your community and the communities you want to be a part of. Clubs are probably the number one way I made friends. That's how I met Kenny, actually. ACU freshman year. What about you?
I would also say, similar to Izza, I got really fortunate my freshman year in that I became best friends with my suite mates. We were random and I was so grateful for that. But definitely making friends is really hard, and even to this day, like, I'm a rising junior now, but I made some of my closest friends in sophomore year, and we're gonna put out a bunch of photos, but I feel like whether it was like through, me struggling in Calc 3 in the fall, or like through joining separate clubs, or literally just meeting friends of friends, like, it's so easy to branch out, but you have to be willing to put yourself out there. But also know that, like, there are communities for everyone, and so whether you're into playing like games or like whether you're into fashion, there's clubs for everyone, so there's definitely a community for you. And speaking of clubs, that takes us to our next question.
Do you want to start this one? Because I feel like you have like a little bit more insight.
So I'm actually in 3 clubs at NYU. I'm in the Stern Crowd Court Business Society. I'm also in ACU with Izza. We've mentioned this club before, but it's really just a social organization for students to get to know each other, have fun, and we are the largest umbrella organization for Asian students in NYU. And the 3rd club I'm in is the Global Research and Consulting Club, which is a new club that actually started in this past spring semester. But something that I want to mention about clubs is that at NYU, like, it is a different structure. There's a lot of recruitment process that goes on, and certain clubs specifically have their own timeline, and even social organizations have their own timeline, which Izza can definitely dive into.
The clubs I'm part of I'm part of Stern Tisch Entertainment Business Association, and similar to what Kenny said about his professional club, this is another professional club that aligns to my professional interests. So I'm pursuing a career in the media industry, and again, that's kind of at the intersection of entertainment and business. So I joined this club, and kind of going into a little bit about club structure, specifically for Stern clubs at NYU, there's usually going to be a mentorship program that you can join as an underclassman. Being part of that program gives you a mentee who's usually on the executive board of the club. To be on the executive board of a club, and this kind of goes across the board for any executive board, you definitely have to go through an interview process and an application process, and to kind of be considered, you have to show active interest as a general member of the club or have done the mentorship program. Requirements can kind of vary club to club.
Kind of like the networking, the coffee chatting, going to these events and actually getting to know these people, because at the end of the day, these clubs are about getting to foster connections with one another.
Yes.
And so it's so important to do that. I will say though, don't get bugged out if you don't get into the club of your choice, because I know that happens to a lot of people, myself included. I got rejected from clubs that I wanted to join.
Same here.
But a lot of times it's more so about finding clubs that will take you, and also knowing that you can always reapply, and so
exactly.
There are so many chances for you to constantly be involving yourself with the NYU club scene.
I know one good thing about NYU executive board positions is that once you get on executive board, most of the time for most of the clubs, you are on the board until you graduate, which isn't the case at some other schools where you have to reapply every semester to be on board. You kind of secure your position, but also goes to say that your networking and how involved you are in the club really play a very large part in you even being considered for an executive board role, because they're betting on you to long-term commit to this role. And then finally, I'm part of ACU. Who would have guessed? But definitely one of my favorite clubs and one of the most dear clubs to me here at NYU. Both Kenny and I actually joined as freshmen.
Yeah,
so
our freshman fall. And speaking of that, the recruitment period is coming up. Our recruitment is going to be taking place in the end of September, so I would definitely recommend, if you guys are interested, to check it out, nyu.acu on Instagram.
And let us know if you'd like us to make a little bit more of a detailed video on cultural clubs and Asian organizations and just being Asian at NYU.
Does NYU really have no campus? And truth be told, I personally think we don't have a campus. I am not like a big LARPer. I'm not a big fan of Washington Square Park. Is, and maybe she can talk about that, but it is a little difficult. You know, there is no centralized space to.
Wash is kind of a centralized space.
But it's like, it's not just NYU, you know, like I
That's
feel like
true.
a lot of schools have like the yard or the
Like the
square.
quad,
but
yeah.
We don't really have that, and so that's why it kind of goes back to us saying that you really have to put yourself out there if you want to make friends. Regarding like campus without walls, I think that there's a lot of buildings, and it's kind of all centralized around West 4th Street. In that sense, usually the students around that area are NYU students, and you can kind of tell.
Kind of going off of what Kenny said, so I am a Washington Square LARPer, I have to admit, but that is probably the most centralized sort of place in campus. I will say it kind of is like the geographic center in some sorts. It's right next to our campus library, which is one of the largest buildings in our vicinity, I want to say, because it's definitely not a campus. Our campus is truly the embodiment of the fact that if you choose to go to NYU, you are first and foremost a citizen of New York, and second, you are a student. You're not going to be recognized by your student identity. You're going to be recognized as being a member of like New York City and New York City culture, which has its own faux pas, its own sort of nuances to learn as you're like in the city. But then second, you are a student. Your student identity is not first. You're not in like a small college town where it's like everyone is a student and everyone around you is a student. You're sharing the city with normal, active, working people, or people of all ages who live here. Even our most centralized place in campus, Washington Square Park, everyone is there.
Yeah.
It's not just students. You're gonna find celebrities there. You're gonna find interviewers, street performers, vendors, just normal people there for a picnic or sitting on the benches, reading a book. Like, so you're sharing your space with the citizens of New York as well. So definitely something to keep in mind here at NYU. I think one of the best parts of being a student at NYU is being able to take advantage of all the professional opportunities here in New York City. And I think it definitely is something that attracted me to come and study here at NYU. Work, particularly, you should definitely use Handshake. And I know that's like something that a lot of colleges throughout the nation use. A lot of on-campus jobs will be posted on Handshake, and I think Kenny can go into a little bit more detail about that. But I'm particularly a LinkedIn warrior. I love LinkedIn, guys. I definitely think LinkedIn is like the biggest resource. We definitely have on-campus like job centers too. We have the Wasserman Career Center, and then we have advisors. And I think what's really unique about the advisors here at NYU is that they're super tapped into a lot of professional opportunities that are being put out for students. A lot of your advisors will have internship newsletters where they'll give you like the deadlines and dates for different applications coming up. Beyond all of those on-campus resources, LinkedIn. There's a very big, I'll say like professional hustle culture here at NYU and among NYU students. No matter if you're in the Stern Business School or if you're in Tisch, I think everyone is trying to find pre-professional opportunities and trying to take advantage of what's here in New York. So you're gonna just naturally be kind of embedded into this culture. No one's really trying to gatekeep over here in NYU. People are pretty like, this opportunity's here, this opportunity's here, but you just have to kind of be tapped into the right networks.
To build off of Izza's point, I've actually used all of these resources. For a little context, I do work on campus, and I actually got that job before I even came to NYU. Handshake opened up for me around July. I wanted to have, my own spending money and not really rely on my parents too much. So I applied to a couple jobs and I ended up getting one through work study. Speaking about the advisors, and newsletters as well. I actually found my summer research position during my going into sophomore summer through one of these newsletters. I ended up doing research under a postdoc, but I wouldn't have found out about this opportunity if I didn't sign myself up for the research newsletter. I think it's just like the undergraduate research newsletter. And then also didn't really know what I wanted to do with my degree. Like I studied economics and I ended up realizing that I wanted to do consulting because of this unpaid internship opportunity I had last fall. And I got that through cold emailing and networking, which I think is so important. You're in New York, you can literally tap on someone's door and strike up a conversation and get to know them. And even though it was unpaid, I now have that demonstrated interest that I can put on my resume.
I will say that in New York, it as horrible as unpaid internships can be, I think a great way to just get your foot in the door and connect yourself with the right people is by taking an unpaid opportunity if you are in the position to do so, of course. But I think New York in particular has some really great unpaid opportunities that have a high benefit for the networking that they provide. If you're looking for a place to start, I really think find an advisor in your major that you can trust. It doesn't have to be your assigned advisor. Real talk, it does not have to be your assigned advisor. And just email them. Set up a time and tell them, I want to be involved in all of the newsletters for professional opportunities. Where do I start? And they will totally help you. But it's all up to you to reach out and find an advisor that you know is active.
If you guys have any questions, feel free. Our Instagrams are in the link. You guys can DM either of us, and we're happy to answer any questions about our respective majors.
So regarding Greek life, I think Greek life is as big of a part of your college experience here at NYU as you want it to be. Greek life is definitely present, but I wouldn't say it's a very big part of your social life here. People can choose to join through the normal recruitment process, but I'm personally not part of Greek life, nor is Kenny, and we've never experienced that as any sort of a disadvantage to our social lives here at NYU. I will say too, kind of regarding partying and stuff, they throw parties, but I wouldn't say that's a very big part of student life. But I have had friends who are part of Greek life, and they've definitely enjoyed their experiences and found that it's a great way to meet people and find a community and have a group of people behind your back. I will say, in a way, ACU kind of fills that for the both of us. And I think, again, it's just about finding your right community, especially your right social community here at NYU. And sometimes that's a sorority or fraternity.
I think the distinction between a regular school and our school for Greek life is that with a regular school, you're on a campus. Everyone is kind of just the students. And so Greek life provides a place for parties and networking and hanging out. But for us, the city is kind of your oyster. And so you're free to go wherever you want. And so that kind of takes me to the going out scene. I'm sure you can guess there's plenty of places to go out to. And there are a lot of different ways that people can have fun. I know I personally really enjoy going to Koreatown. And I have a lot of friends who enjoy going to the Lower East Side. And there's just a bunch of restaurants. There's a lot of, dimly lit places to hang out at. And so there's definitely a lot of locations that you can go to. And I feel when you do go to these places, what I realize is that a lot of the times it really is the NYU students there. It's the NYU students and the FIT kids and the Parsons and the Columbia kids. And so it's kind of cute in a sense that we might go to different schools, but when you're at your own little table with your friends and you're just chatting with another group of friends from a different school, I think that's one of the most wholesome parts of going out.
Definitely go and explore the city. Take every chance you can to use that opportunity to meet new people.
And maybe you'll see us there too. So that wraps up our NYU most commonly asked questions. We're so excited to go back to school, and we really hope that this information really helps you whether you're a returning student or you're entering your freshman year, and we can't wait to see you guys.
See you on campus!
Bye!
Club recruiting and club structure at NYU.
Should we have cut it?
You can cut out what. It's fine. Okay. Let me fix my hair. Okay, so clubs.